Hello, everybody.
Good morning,
Joe here.
Kevin.
Ignore the coffee stand that I got going on today. As soon as I pulled up to Kevin's house, whoop, right in my shirt.
Sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays. Next to the last episode of Schitt's Creek, we're really wrapping this up with a lot to still resolve. Other than the fact that huge financial windfall for the Rosebud Motel Company.
Yeah. Also, like a really great Roland moment last episode.
Yeah, it was.
I was surprised at that. I was like, "Wow, Roland really kind of wow."
Yeah, he did. And here's the thing: it was when Johnny wasn't around. Johnny will probably never know that Roland really respects him.
I never thought of that actually. That's what
I was thinking about through the week. Is like Johnny wasn't there, and when he went downstairs, he didn't say anything. He didn't, describe the conversation. So he really had Johnny's back in a way that Johnny will probably never know that it happened.
That's really sweet, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I would want to know if somebody respected me, but you know what? That's really nice. The show did that. They're like, no, Roland's got thoughts.
They let Roland have a nice moment. I think moving forward, if I were to guess what this episode is, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is the wedding or the last one's going to be the wedding. I feel like it should be this one, so we could have a show kind of wrap up in the next one.
Yeah,
maybe
20 minutes.
Right, yeah. But I do think that there is a black cloud hanging over that with David clearly wanting to leave New York or leave for New York, and I don't feel like Patrick does.
No, he does not.
Like that was pretty clear, right? Even though the conversation hasn't happened, Patrick does not look comfortable with that idea.
It was a great way to end the last episode.
Absolutely
honestly.
Was.
I thought that cutaway on Patrick's face, I was like, oh no.
He's being really supportive, but this is a thing. And I hope it's not, I don't see it being a thing to the extent that it would call off the wedding, right? It's not like Ted and Alexis's thing, maybe.
I don't.
Because I don't think Patrick is so married to Schitt's Creek that he'd never leave.
Sure.
And more importantly, I don't think David is so married to the idea of moving to New York that they would end their relationship over something like that. You know what I mean?
They did. They ended the show that way. Like David running away from the altar with his family.
Right, like no, right. I want to be in Manhattan.
Yeah,
I don't really see it going that route, especially since we already had Ted and Alexis do it. It's like someone's going to have a happy ending.
You have to kill your darlings. They're not going to do that.
Right. That would be really rough. I don't feel like this is that show.
No,
you know what I mean?
Because it's a feel-good show of all the feel-good shows. There's no way they're going to end it on a disastrous breakup.
Yeah, Ted and Alexis, their breakup made sense because they were just different people whose lives were going in different directions that it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Unless they had to actually sacrifice a lot of who they are to make it work.
And it ended in a really sweet
and ended in a
way. It was nice.
It was there was a lot of love in how that ended. I think if this was a thing that would drive a real wedge between David and Patrick, there would not be a sweet ending for them, right?
No.
This would be bitterness and resentment, including from the fans.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any chance it goes that way.
And a lawsuit over the business.
Yeah, right. It's like, well, this is going to be an ugly resolution.
That's the sequel series.
Yeah, it's like sorry, we need to have a movie after this. Kramer versus Kramer with the business is the baby.
Who would be the little boy in that situation?
The business.
I guess the business.
Yeah, the business is the little boy.
Just crying.
Yeah,
exactly. You should see them together. They're beautiful.
All right, guys, we do want to go ahead and welcome Amber, GS, and Naomi to our Patreon group, 2 Ns. Thanks for being here with us, guys. We're very happy you're here.
Thank you, guys. If you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you might hit the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the new content we have coming your way.
Yeah, if you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or are watching, please check out the link in the description below to our Patreon page. When you're seeing this on YouTube, we are completely done with Schitt's Creek and have moved on to both the Christopher Guest movies that really heavily feature Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara and Dairy Girls, which we're also very excited about. So that's already gotten started over there on Patreon. If you want to jump over there and check it out, you will have to sync and watch along on your own device or streaming service. You're only going to see and hear us for copyright purposes. And we're also watching 30 Rock right now as a Patreon exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Clock the end of the episode, start spreading the news. So New York might be...
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
And we're moving to New York. I just thought it was time. Ciao.
So 3 of them are probably moving together, and David's staying would be my guess.
Mimosas. We're celebrating. Ruth sent over a bottle of champagne.
So there's no food then?
I say we do something as a family tonight. Maybe cook a little something?
Oh, don't think that's a good idea.
Absolutely not.
This won't be our home for too much longer.
I find that sad, actually.
Me too, yeah. I'm noticing how homey it looks, the dishes on the wall.
Yeah. They made it work, didn't they?
They did.
Do I detect a scintilla of lavender?
Isn't it funny how the air suddenly smells sweeter now that you know we're leaving? You bought a new truck?
Well, Johnny,
If you want to be an executive, you got to drive like an executive.
So go.
Oh, she's not going to be on it. Yeah, she's not.
Unfortunately, I won't be participating in that little vanity project.
Oh, I think she's going to take the job now.
Yeah,
After saying that, right?
Something, right?
Yeah.
You hold the buns.
I thought they might have at least called to say they were moving on.
Big things are coming your way, sweetheart.
I believe that,
Me
honestly.
too. Yeah. She was just in a movie. Like,
Yeah. She should be happy enough she's moving to New York, which is
Yay.
what she's wanted. Yeah.
What says, Patrick, you're gonna love New York more?
Yeah, we're going to
A
deal with
gift
this
card
now.
to
Yeah.
Joe's Pizza or tickets to Wicked? We're moving there with all of you. What do you think? We're gonna stay here by ourselves?
I'm not moving to New York, David.
wow.
So I
That's really
take
that's
it you
big
didn't
from her,
like
you know
the
what I mean?
house.
What house?
What?
Like,
Problem,
like
yeah.
to buy?
He said that you guys had driven by it a bunch of times.
That house is for sale?
No!
I should probably go talk to my husband.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
This might be kind of a bummer episode, but I feel like it's going to resolve.
I do too. I don't think there's any way this doesn't work out.
I'm like downsizing a little bit. I can't take all of this, Alexis. Why don't I just go through it and pay for the ones I want to keep? That's why I can't take your money. I've seen how people tip here. I won some money in the lottery a few years ago. Oh my God,
Oh.
twice? Go you. What was I gonna
She's so
say?
sweet,
I just
yeah.
won $92 million.
92 million.
You won $92 million? I just don't want anyone to know. It changes things. You might be the best person I know.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
This is really sweet, actually.
Well, I don't know. It's for you.
Oh, it's from Tippy. Dear Moira, you win. Welcome back to the Bay.
Oh.
Is it the bracelet she wanted? The tennis bracelet? That was what it was?
Oh my God.
Tennis bracelet.
What tennis bracelet?
My tennis
The one she said,
bracelet.
yeah.
My
Good.
answer is a yes. A clangorous, vociferous yes.
Yeah.
So it's happening?
Maybe they should move to LA instead.
Yeah.
Then.
Our
That's
offices
awesome.
Yeah.
will be in New York. Sounds like we're in for a tricky commute.
We'll just work it out, John.
Yeah.
Can't they move their offices to LA?
Yeah. Or she can just go for however long,
right.
you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the actors do it all the time, right?
Why didn't you tell me about the house?
I was gonna wait until after the wedding to tell you.
That's so
'Cause I know
sweet.
how
Yeah, it
flustered
is.
you can get when there's more than one thing on your plate. I just knocked on the door and asked them to call me if they ever decided to sell. Turns out their daughters are off to college and they're moving to Florida.
I don't want you moving somewhere that you're not excited about.
Good.
I'm excited to be with you. It's gonna be a tough goodbye. This
I
is
bet
where we
David
started
says
our
no.
life together.
I bet they stay here.
I bet they do too.
They're definitely going to get that cottage.
Yeah. I think David's going to make the sacrifice because David's a good guy.
Yeah. And I think that maybe he really didn't like New York. Maybe he thought. he
Yeah,
did, you know?
right. Yeah. The idea of New York seems a lot better than
Yeah.
New York to hit in his mind. Yeah.
Sunrise Bay called with an irresistible offer.
That's great, Mrs. Rose.
This will mark my last rehearsal with you all.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, thanks for the heads up.
Oh my God, this is so sweet.
I find this hard to believe this will be goodbye forever. They'll
Right.
be back.
I would hope so.
I wanted to come and tell you that what you said to me this morning really resonated. I bought the cafe. What?
What?
I
Hey,
called
good
the
for her.
owners and told them to name their price. Dwight, I'm so happy for you. You
I like
deserve
Stephen the
it.
tropical name.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Because that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Those dresses would never sell for this much, like not even in retail.
Consider it a goodbye present.
That's
A little
Oh my
something to
God.
help you
Like-
start your new life. You're gonna do great things, Alexis.
No, I know.
God, this is like the sweetest
But
episode
can't
ever.
I know.
accept this. I think that if I'm gonna do this on my own, I need to do
it on
this
your
on
own,
my
yeah.
own.
I respect
Wow. Alexis has grown up so much.
I know. She went from stealing her boyfriend to
She did still
being her best
once,
friend.
yeah. Man, Alexis has become such an adult, hasn't she?
You know, I'm getting a little,
this is great.
a little weepy here.
This might seem like a really stupid question, but Why are we here?
Because I felt like I owed it to Patrick.
Okay, so we just drove here to look at a place that you don't plan on living in.
Correct. Thinking about how Patrick must have driven out here and knocked on that door and asked those people to call him.
What is it about New York?
I have big dreams.
Why do you want to go back to a place that's done nothing but hurt your feelings?
Because I want those people to know that I'm not a joke.
I don't want you to leave me here, okay?
Well, I suppose I should let you both know that there's been a slight change of plans. We'll be heading to California.
See, that's what I
Now,
thought
I've
made
made
sense
some
too,
calls,
yeah.
and I'll be setting up shop out west for the time being.
Patrick found us a house.
Okay, I don't know how we'd be able to afford a house.
We're going to stay.
What?
David, are you sure you've given this sentencing adequate deliberation?
Sentencing.
Does this mean you'll be coming with us, Alexis?
No.
No. I think it means that I'm gonna be flying solo to
Well, I think like Interflix wants to work with her after the more and stuff.
She'll have a job at least.
Yeah.
Being together, at least I can go to sleep knowing we're all gonna be okay.
When are you leaving?
September 3rd.
That's my wedding day.
Hey, you do know that I've already seen this house, right?
So I put an offer in, and they accepted.
What about New York? I thought that's where you wanted to be.
I don't want to be anywhere you don't want to be.
Oh God, that's
David, I
phrased so
promise I'll
well.
make you so happy here.
Oh my God. Okay, so the finale is going to be the wedding.
I'm
Right?
glad. I feel so. We thought that it was going to be like the wrap up episode, right?
Yeah.
In many ways, this kind of acted as that. It covers all the bases, so we know where they're going.
I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I think it's like because we wanted to like get married and then what's everyone going to do?
Yeah.
We just did it in reverse, right?
That's
we
really
figured out
smart.
what everybody's going to do and then we end with the wedding. I think
Yeah.
that is great. Yeah,
That's-
we still get an episode of those issues being dealt with.
It's like we can have our cake and eat it too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really smart.
We know where everybody's lives are headed on after the wedding, and now we're going to do the wedding and the goodbyes, which I love.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, no
Oh,
kidding,
man.
right?
So today we're banging them both out. So we're gonna start the next one here in a second. But I do want to touch on this episode a little bit because I thought it was just really sincere and
Yeah,
just
it
really
was.
touching. I mean, man, I'm going to miss this show so much for how it makes me feel. You know, like
Yeah.
it really, really makes me laugh. I mean, some of the hardest bits we've laughed at on the show are from this.
This was a great.
show,
This was,
you know?
yeah, this is a great episode too.
And it's so freaking sincere. Like it can bring tears to your eyes in a second and then just make you laugh right away. Like as your eyes are still welling, your gut is hurting too because you're laughing so hard.
Yeah,
you know?
I was like teared up and laughing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just really really well done.
And that's just I love the writing. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the curveballs it throws our way. I mean, the Twyla thing, like, good for her, you know? Like,
Yeah, it was a really nice late reveal about Twyla. I feel like it was something that was decided late. Like that wasn't. I don't feel like that was something that was like they had thought about until the end. Like, what do you want to do about the goodbye with Twyla? Let's make her rich. you know, which I'm totally here for.
we don't know anything about her.
Right? Yeah,
We
exactly.
know very little about Twyla, and that's why that works so well. Is because it's not like, oh yeah, like we've seen her home life, we've seen this, and that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, oh, by the way, I won the lottery a couple of years ago.
Right. Yeah, we know about how awful her upbringing was with her mom.
Yeah. Who loves snowmobiles apparently.
Right.
Which, by the way, I would not buy a snowmobile if I won millions of dollars. I don't think I have any need for that.
Yeah, snowmobiles and jet skis are just not a thing for me. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
I've been on a jet ski, a lot of fun, but I mean,
sure. I've never been on a snowmobile though, but I've been on a jet ski. It was a good time for the day, but it's like, you know what do they say about boats? Like the two happiest days of owning a boat are the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
Yeah.
I feel like jet skis are going to be right there
Similar. Too. Yeah. What do you even dock those things?
Exactly. It's like, well, it's taking up where I usually put my car in my garage, but hey,
it's like a big truck like Roland does, just carry them around with you everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, this was actually quite. Was it barbarous Jabe? Was that the more his phrase? Tell me this isn't a barbarous Jabe.
Jape.
I don't know. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look again because I need to remember that one. That was golden.
The Les Mis line cracked me up too. One pizza. What is Les Mis?
We try to remember that as well because that's a solid bit right there.
I'm busting that one out. Since we ordered pizza,
I feel like the way they did this episode brilliantly, by the way, sets up a really heartfelt finale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you get the wedding and everybody kind of saying goodbye in kind of the same episode. You know what I mean? Like it's all going to kind of roll out at once. We're married, and now everyone's going their separate ways. And I feel like we were fairly spot on with where we thought we were going to go. Right? We were kind of like, how do the characters end up? I thought Alexis would be on her own in a big city.
Sure.
That Moira would be working in L.A. or New York, and that David I didn't know and thought he might be the one to stay.
Yeah.
We kind of nailed that guess.
We've had a lot of predictions as the show has gone on, especially this season. I mean, I feel like
Right, in this season, sure.
13 weeks ago, we were like, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I never really considered the fact that they're all going separate ways. Like,
Sure.
Each of them, like Alexis, New York, Johnny and Moira, California, David stays. Like,
Right. And you know, I'm not tooting our horn. It's not like we're brilliant. They really threw some curveballs and we caught them. They weren't. I really feel like they did a really good job setting up these decisions in a mature way from season one. Right. Alexis's growth inevitably leads her to going on her own.
Yeah.
Moira, you know, her work ethic leads her back into getting back into the entertainment industry.
Sure.
Johnny becomes a titan of industry again. David learns to be happy with within his own skin.
Content. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it was in New York, right? I want to go rub it in their faces that I made it. That was the only dream, to show people I'm not a loser. Well, winning is not caring what they think.
Sure.
You know, people aren't your friend. That's what really winning
Personal
is.
success is still success.
Yeah, you did it. You won. You got the life that you deserve, a really good one. Rubbing someone else's face in it is completely superfluous. You know, just.
It is. That's what Mad Men's about, you know?
Yeah, it really is. It's like, you know, am I really successful? I can't rub somebody else's face in it.
Yeah.
Yes, just be happy. Which I think he's getting there. Again, that's part of David's maturation too.
Yeah.
It's you know it takes a lot of security to be able to say, I'm going to stay here in this town that I've always hated because I'm going to be happier here and I don't care what anybody else thinks about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's big for him. Alexis saying, I'm not taking your money because I feel like this is something I need to do on my own is huge. These two have come so far.
I bet you any money if she knew. I bet you any money if she knew that she was moving by herself, she'd be like, well, maybe just a little bit of money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Twilight, remember how I said I didn't want your money? Well, now David's not coming,
Just a
so
smidge. Just a smidge.
help a sister out.
But it is cool that like even Twyla and Alexis now, like look how close they've become. You
Right.
know? Like I said,
sure.
she went from stealing Mutt from Twyla to being her best friend.
Right. Yeah, they're great friends. And it's sincere between both of them.
Also, it's kind of weird to look back on Mutt now. You know,
Sure.
it's almost like the
I completely easy to forget that guy was ever on the show, isn't it?
Who was the guy on Parks and Rec that was like the romantic lead in the first two seasons?
Oh,
Paul Schneider?
yeah, Mark Bramdanowitz or whatever. Yeah.
It's like once he was gone,
It was
just don't talk about him.
yeah. I mean, really,
It's
yeah.
like
It was like,
Voldemort,
okay, yeah, and it was fine, right?
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, we traded him in and we're good.
It's a fun tidbit on shows. West Wing does it too with Mandy, obviously.
Right,
You know?
going to Mandyville, which is kind of what Mutt did on this show.
These characters did. Yeah, I'm always fascinated by how shows can course correct after like one of the stars leaves.
Sure.
Sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does work, it's like you forget they're even there.
Quality, good shows do it. Good shows can have characters come and go.
Yeah. I never watched Shameless, but apparently after the star of that show leaves, it's not good.
Okay, I've never watched.
I've never seen it either. It's not really my thing. But
yeah, not really my kind of thing. I have a hard time with shows that's like, hey, it's a whole cast of people that no one likes.
I mean, famously, The Office.
Right.
You know, that's another.
Sure,
big one too,
absolutely.
you know,
Right. But yeah, I mean, this show knows how to do it. You know, one of the great things about Mad Men is we get characters who leave the show, and then like Paul Kinsey, they can bring him back. They can bring back Freddie Rumsen. You know, they just pop in and do your thing and pop back off, and it's okay. That makes sense narratively. You know, these are really quality shows, and this one's no different.
Yeah.
Now we just got the finale left.
I know.
All right, we'll catch you then, guys.
See ya.